I have always believed the road to excess leads to the palace of wisdom.
I got it pinned all the way over here.
Please make your voice be heard.
And I'm leaving society to move out to the country and smoke crystal meth with rednecks.
Maybe you have a differing opinion than us. Maybe we're completely wrong, and you are the one lone person in the world that is right.
That's why you're here tonight. Eventually, me and Dave Jarvis are going to Hollywood.
But guess what? Some of us are actually pretty friendly.
Yeah, but most of us suck.
Fine, upstanding young man. Fine, upstanding young man.
Smoke weed. Welcome one, welcome all. Come on in. Welcome to the new year right here at Blow Your Brains Out. We're all alive. We made it to 2025. I am Rick E. Warden, and right here in front of us, this lovely lady is Ariel of Against All Odds. That's right. Thank you very much for being here, Ariel.
Thanks, Ricky. Glad to be here in the new year. First show in the new year.
We have a fantastic show tonight. It's going to be a blast, everybody. I want to introduce to you now the mighty and powerful Dave motherfucking Jarvis.
All right, here we go. New year, new me. I am not a prophet, but I am here to tell you what the weather is like up my own ass. Hello, Brainiacs. This is your weekly dose of private parts and general disarray. For when a naked man is chasing me through a dark alley with a butcher knife and a hard-on, I know he's not out here collecting for the Red Cross. God, I wish this city wasn't halfway between Tulsa and hell. Folks, podcasting is a lot like sex. It's almost better when everything goes horribly wrong. And I'm searching for something, of which I do not know. What Schopenhauer called his will, and what my physician has diagnosed as hay fever. But through it all, when there was doubt, I ate it up and spit it out, and you've let us back into your house again. And here is today's clickbait. Dave Grohl's wife has decided to stay with Dave, even though his fingers still smell funny. She's tried to help raise someone else's kid as one of her own, so that one day she'll have a patsy in place for when she murders him. In other news, the singer Skillet recently got in trouble for making fun of Rage Against the Machine. Frontman John Cooper said in a Real Talk with Sweet interview, I remember I got in a lot of trouble in 2021 because I was, I think rightly, making fun of Rage Against the Machine. Because Rage Against the Machine's anti-government, and they were doing these, like, facts-only shows, and I was just like, well, it's just crazy that me, the Christian rock star, that I'm the punk rock revolutionary now. Articulately said, John. Rage guitarist Tom Morello has denied all of these charges, while Zach De La Rocha's voice can only be heard by dogs. In local news, I want everybody to take a moment and raise your glass to Carl and the crew from Diamond Gem Saloon. Carl, you never said much to me, but you were always a good guy to me. I knew you for like 15 years, I think. Made Jim's a great place to hang out and one of the few clubs in DFW to withstand the onslaught of changing trends, different tastes, pandemics, and you gave Blow Your Brains Out a home, and we will never forget you for that. Yes, absolutely. Raise your glass, everybody. In other local headlines, band Room 13 out of Denton is currently looking for a lead guitarist. Influences include Queen, Black Sabbath, Nirvana, and the Ramones. So if you are interested, hey ho, let's go. Room 13, Denton, lead guitar, rocket to Russia. Folks, with the expanding population in North Texas, there are many, many bands on the come up right now. I know a few of y'all need a place to play and a message to spread. And on that note, we bring to you, to the stage, Christy and Music Matters and Studio 801. Welcome, everybody.
Yay.
Thank you.
How are y'all doing?
Good. I brought my whole family.
Simpson.
My family.
That's what we're doing.
Family/business partners. So, yeah,
Good to have you.
we're thank you. Yeah, we're trying to help original musicians a little bit. Uh, uh, we know there's nothing like live sound. I mean, even when we're at home listening to it on Spotify on our phone, Spotify compresses music. So there is nothing like seeing it live. So we're trying to help artists, original artists mostly. We do a couple of shows. We started out as a recording studio and a record label, and we do that. But our passion is really helping original musicians in the metal genre and in the rock inspired genre. So we got a couple of shows coming up. We'll talk more about those, but this is my family. They're the musical geniuses. I just organize them. Oops, I'm sorry.
Welcome, family.
Sometimes it takes an organizer, especially in rock and roll. So good to have you. Thanks for organizing everyone here this evening to have a good time together with us.
Okay, so I've got with me, the old one is the Hubs.
Hi, Hubs.
He's got a little story to tell back in 1980. What was it, 86, 87?
Mm-hmm.
Your first.
Hey, Hubs.
Yep.
His first name is Harry, and he's the entrepreneur and a musician. And he's got a little story to tell us back in 86 or 87.
Harry, thank you for being here. And then this is your son, Blake?
Yes.
Yep.
All right. Thank you both for being here. Let's hear that story from 87, man. We love the 80s.
Okay. So not exactly my first entrepreneurial endeavor, but I wasn't exactly the richest kid, but I did live in kind of a wealthier part of town.
Gotcha.
And there were these two bands that were coming to town that I was dying to see. And so me and three friends, if you remember the old days, you had to wait at Ticketmaster at whatever the sports,
You mean like overnight?
Yep, pretty much. We each bought 4 tickets because that was the limit, and then we sold them to our friends so that we could afford tickets to go see Rush and Pink Floyd. Those were the two first concerts. And my friends bought tickets and helped me buy the tickets to get in there and a T-shirt for each. And that's my 1986 story.
So you stood in line to get tickets to Pink Floyd and Rush, and then you sold them to because you were kind of the poor kid, right? In that town, and you sold them to the rich kids, right?
Yeah.
And you got enough money to get tickets to see the show yourself and get a T-shirt, right?
Nice.
Smart.
Yeah, that's how we used to do it back in the day. I used to camp out overnight and get like anywhere from front row to fourth row to everything from Van Halen to Ozzy Osbourne to you name it.
How old were you?
That was it. Well, it was the only way that I could go. Otherwise, I wasn't going. So
yeah, I would have never thought to do that.
Make a dollar bill turn into
$1 million more dollar bills.
Well, you could only buy 4 tickets. There's a limit of 4 tickets, so you could buy 4 and then sell 3.
Right. So I brought 3 friends with me, and we all did the same thing. We got 16 tickets between us, and it paid for all of our tickets, and we all had a great time.
Kick ass.
That's fun.
That's entrepreneurial.
Can't even go to a box office and buy a ticket anymore.
I know, right?
Yeah,
I'd rather do that.
In the 80s, and I watched it happen, and I wanted to fight them, But like one of my best friends, Floyd, rest in peace, Floyd's no longer with us. He was one of the guys doing it, and what happened was that they quit allowing you to camp out, and they gave out tickets, line tickets. Yeah, instead. And so they would have someone come out there who worked security, and he'd be out there all night passing out line tickets. And then you come back in the morning at 10 o'clock or 9 o'clock, whatever it was, and get in line according to your line ticket.
Right.
And so Floyd, you know, the game was that, you know, you just paid off the security guy for the first, you know, 100 line tickets, man. And he got all the seats, and then took them right over to Ticketmaster and sold them, or whoever whoever was flipping them at the time. But anyway, that's the way it was. It was sad to watch it happen, yo.
Yeah.
Because Ariel, not only could we camp out overnight, and sorry, I'm taking over a little bit. Not only could we camp out overnight and all that, but you know, we partied. We would go right up there to Ticketmaster at 75 and Northwest Highway 75, and it's just north of Northwest Highway. But anyway, you know, you could stay out there all night and drink and party and listen to music, and you're out there with a bunch of other diehard rock and rollers. So may have seen you out there. Where was this at, Harry? What city?
We grew up in the Chicago area, so it was it was up there. You know, this was me in high school with my high school buddies, and just needing to get our music fix.
Yeah. Okay, so that was your introduction into entrepreneurialhood, and then you ended up here with Studio 801.
Yeah, I did. So long journey to get there, but it started with I've been in sales and marketing for years, and been very entrepreneurial along the way. So one day my son Ryan decided he wanted to start playing drums, and so we had a drum set and a carpet, and he wanted to put it up in the game room, and it was like not gonna happen. We stuck him in the garage, and then it grew, and it grew, and it grew, and we added a bunch of other stuff into the studio. Do you guys want to take a look at the studio real quick?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Take us on an
You all this
adventure.
labor?
Now,
Sure, why not?
Is this Studio 801 you're showing us?
Yes.
Yes.
It is. This
I
is the
love the
garage.
wall.
Is this like your showroom here? Is this a room that's available for rent for a band that needs to come in and practice for 8 hours or something?
Practice, record. We do post-production. But yeah, I mean, we do all sorts of stuff here. But we it's soundproofed, it's climate controlled. I mean, it's freezing outside, but it's nice and toasty in here. The sound acoustics are great. We actually had a band in tonight that was auditioning. They're kind of a younger startup, kind of a band. We had a band in the other night that's going to play in the rock show. That she's got a lovely voice. We did a tiny concert here last month where we had 50 people that came through and 5 acts that played. So we try to do a lot of different types of activities to engage with the music community and promote original music. And then the shows, which Christy was talking about earlier, we've got Rockin' Winter on February 15th and Red Metal's Eve on February 16th. Rockin' Winter will probably be about 15 bands. Red Metal's Eve will probably be about 8, maybe 10 bands. We're still looking for some bands for both shows. We do 30-minute sets, 15-minute turnover. We backline the drums. We're really tight on logistics. Ryan runs the sound. Blake and I help run the back of house logistics, and we move people through and get a lot of people in so that they can enjoy a lot of music.
Kick ass.
Yeah.
It's a lot of hard work, man. It's a labor of love. So
coordination.
happy for you.
That's dope.
Now, since y'all do your primary gigs through Tees, or do y'all circulate?
We use other venues. So we did our very first time doing this. We got into it. I'll tell you kind of the backstory. We got into this because we were playing for another promoter at a venue, and Ryan had two of his friends, one that was coming down from Denton, one that had to work. This is on a Sunday night. One's coming down from Denton. One has to work at 7 a.m. Blake goes to Carleton State, and
I had to drive. I still had an hour and a half drive to do, and I had to get up at 5 in the morning the next morning. So
Nope.
yeah.
So they tell us on a Sunday night that we're going to play at 7 o'clock, and then we tell the promoter that we sold X number of tickets, and he's like, "Well, that's not enough tickets, so you're going to go on at 9:30."
What?
Yeah, and we're like, "Well, I didn't say we didn't sell any tickets. I said we just didn't sell as many as you wanted us to sell. What do we tell the people who are coming? Oh, we're running a little late. 20 minutes is a little late. 2.5 hours is not a little late." So we picked up our stuff, left. And that got me into the whole thing. It's like I can do a better job promoting and running a show than that. And so we did. RBC was our first show. That was October, not of 24, but of 23. We did that show. We learned a lot from it. We did the next 4 shows at the Revel in Frisco, and I learned from the whole thing to find locations that have excellent stages, excellent lighting, excellent parking, food and drink, and a comfortable kind of location. We're doing teas right now because it's football season. We'll likely switch between the Revel, teas, and some other locations to be determined. But I look for places that people will be comfortable, that we can make the band sound amazing, and that we can really deliver on the promise of bringing original music. And I know a lot of venues have been closing. I know a lot of venues won't do original music because there's lots of tribute bands, and original music bands don't bring in a lot. But if you pair everybody together and you get 10 bands that are playing, you got a group, you got a clan. You can do something with that, and people will stick around and they'll watch. It's way better than an open mic night where you get 8 or 10 people that each want to go on stage and they play their song and they get off stage and they leave and they don't stay to watch the other bands. These are events that people will show up and they'll stay and enjoy the other bands, and it's really a wonderful thing. So original music's our mission.
Love it.
That's beautiful, man. And what's Ryan's role in all this?
Go ahead, Ryan. I'll let you.
All right. I was waiting to be called on. So, like they were saying before about how I do a lot of like the live sound for some of the shows and stuff and whatnot. So I do the live sound for the gigs and stuff, and I manage recordings and stuff. And sorry, I'm hearing like some latency between real time and what I'm hearing.
You're okay, Ryan. Stop turning around.
Yeah. Right.
Just talk. It'll catch up.
Okay. All right, cool. It sounds good now. All right. Now I can actually think.
He's our main sound guy.
Yeah, that's correct.
He does the recordings. He runs sound at our live shows, or when we do live sound for other bands. He actually just got nominated for Songwriter of the Year for Dallas Entertainment Awards.
Oh,
Really?
very cool.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Ryan, tell them your story.
Thank you.
Your real story. About adversity and
let me try to think. Where do I start?
Real you.
Alan
Yeah.
High School.
I'm going there. So Allen High School. Blake, you got to mute your mic because we're in the same room. That's what's throwing me off. I can't.
Thank you, Ryan. You're genius. I was doing it here on my
the
end, but that'll
echo
throw you guys off. So
in the
you're
back
good.
of my head. I can't think. Okay, so Allen High School. circa 2015, freshman year. I had been on clarinet throughout middle school, and I started freshman marching band and on clarinet as well. But then I had seen percussion in marching band for the first time ever, and had been around it for a little bit, and realized that I actually liked wanting to be in percussion. So I actually practiced. I learned some like the rudiments, like paradiddles and how to do doubles and stuff like that. And then so I started talking to the director of bands or the percussion director about switching, and then they're like, "Oh, well, we actually don't allow anybody to do that."
The paradiddle?
No.
I'm playing.
To switch from a wind instrument of any kind to percussion, we don't actually allow people to do that. And I was like, okay, what the heck? You know, that kind of pissed me off. It's like, why should anyone not be allowed to do that if they practiced to a certain level where they can show some degree of mastery? So, you know, I kept practicing. I didn't let them like discourage me or anything. And then eventually around the end of my sophomore year, beginning of junior year, we were finally able to convince them. It's like, okay, we'll let you go to the summer band percussion camp and try to play marimba to see if I could keep up with the other students. And apparently I did a really good job of that. So, because they let me in to switch to percussion that week of high school, beginning of junior year. So I spent half of high school trying to get in there, and then I spent the other half actually being able to do it. Ended up doing all region my senior year. And then I applied for UNT, got into UNT School of Music for music under percussion. Yeah. Go Mean Green. So
cool, man. Well, congratulations. And you've got so much more journey left ahead of you.
Well, yes, I do. I'm only 23.
The next story. Tell them the next story, how the studio really came about.
So how the studio really came about, and you know, everything kind of overlaps a little bit, is like my dad was saying about how I originally got the drum set. This was probably like 2016, 2017-ish.
Yeah.
Got the drum set, you know, tried it in the house for a few months. It was really, really loud. And then so we moved it to into the garage here. And so at first it was just an empty garage but like with stuff you would normally expect to find in a garage minus the car. Like, so like, you know, like tools and gardening equipment and all that stuff. But with the drum set in the middle, my dad's old guitar amp, a really cheap Yamaha keyboard, and my dad's old guitar. Those four things were like the only pieces of music equipment at the time. This was probably 8 years ago. And then from there, you know, it turned into just from me like practicing drums to my brother also wanting to practice drums and keys and all that stuff. And then me trying to get some of my friends from high school to do like a garage band kind of thing.
Sure.
And then after I started doing that more often than not.
Of course, you have to teach them.
Would I have to teach them?
Of course, you have to. You have to teach your high school friends how to play if you're going to have a band.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I definitely had to do a lot of that.
Yeah.
Because it's like.
Tell them about COVID and what happened there and the statement that I said to you.
COVID-19. So I started my freshman year of college fall of 2019. So that first semester was normal. And then the first like half semester of 2020 in the spring was normal. And then just all of a sudden out of nowhere, COVID comes along. And at first it's like, I'm sure a lot of people watching this probably remember spring break. Well, okay, we're going to have another week of spring break now. And then after that, it's like, oh, okay, well, now everything's online. So that really changed the dynamic of going to school.
Yeah.
Almost permanently, because like I had been trying to I'd been trying to stick with my classes, since then, but it wasn't the same. Eventually, I ended up. This was about a year and a half ago. I ended up changing majors from music to hospitality management. Because during that time, I had been working in restaurants, and I actually have a passion for taking care of guests and entertaining guests. Entertaining, whether that's playing an instrument or serving them food and beverage.
Service oriented.
Very service oriented. Yes.
Do you remember when you were really
Well,
sad with COVID, and I said,
I'm sorry.
"What can I do to help?" And you said, "I want to bring more musicians in here," and that kind of triggered us opening it up to others.
Yeah.
Well, I hate to interrupt. I'm sorry, but joining the panel currently from, as far as I know, the East Coast. Would that be the folks from Narcotic Wasteland? Y'all are in there. Dallas? Angie? Hello?
Yeah, it looks like he's frozen.
Is he frozen?
Yeah, I think Dallas is frozen.
Frozen? Oh, dang it.
Just like we're
that's
about
not supposed to happen until tomorrow. Right? Uh-oh.
Let me see if Joe's here.
Okay, well, all right. Well, get back to us, Dallas. I'm sorry, Ryan, go ahead.
I don't even remember where I was at.
How you were sad.
You were in the middle of
I
COVID.
said,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So during COVID, this was probably like end of 2020, beginning of 2021, where COVID had been going on for a year, and although we didn't know it at the time, it was going to go on for another year and a half ish. So yeah, I got kind of depressed. I had been getting very depressed by that point, and and I just kind of figured, what might make me better is if we actually got some other musicians around here, and kind of worked together and collaborated and stuff like that. And I expressed that interest to my parents, and they followed through and got some people around here to work with.
Nice.
You started.
Very awesome.
We started getting musicians coming in here and started producing different types of services for musicians, and it's evolved over time to the point where we realized that the highest level that we can provide to the community is actually promoting the shows, bringing in bands that otherwise would not get a chance. Deviation, shout out to them. They're bands who played in the last metal concert.
with us.
Nobody would let them play on a stage because they had never played on a stage before. We let them play on a stage. They were voted. They were nominated for Best Metal Band, also for Dallas Entertainment Awards. And I'm, really proud of those guys because they really killed it. But you see some really great talent that otherwise they don't get a good chance. They don't get good sound. They don't get good lighting. They don't have good photography. They don't have all the stuff that you need as a band. They don't have. And we're also a marketing company. And so we do the promotion for them, with them, really.
Love that. Love it. And y'all are completely independent too. You're not owned by Arby's and some big conglomerate corporation like the School of Rock.
No, not at all. We do what I would call personalized marketing. If you look at our shorts on our YouTube channel, on our Instagram, we do shout outs with a little bit of performance so that people get introduced to each of the individual bands. We've got a performance reel from the shows that has a couple minutes of each band so you can see what they all look like. So if you're looking for new original music, we're the place to look.
I love that.
Oh yeah.
And then
Dallas, are you all set?
Yeah, man. Sorry, yeah, there was some weirdness going on with the link doohickey or whatever. But yeah, I'm here.
That doohickey.
I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, we're here. Right. Technology hates me unless it's this right here. This makes sense to me. Nothing else does.
Pro Tools.
Well,
no, actually, that's Reaper, and what that actually represents is I did a taste test. If you look behind me, real here, I did a taste test with the same microphone on the same cabinet with all those amplifiers.
Yeah.
And man, I gotta say, I got the Windsor sounding pretty damn close to that Marshall. The PV, the triple X's are a little bit different. They got that active EQ thing. It's cool, but it's completely different. It actually is. And that's under the same, the same microphone, the same speaker and everything. So that was pretty interesting, but they're definitely valid for like just mic'd guitar tones for sure. But I was really surprised at how close I could get those two together. That was fun.
I can imagine.
So I've been kind of in pre-pro mode over here, just getting everything like. I've been recording a lot of stuff and doing a lot of shit. So same old shit,
Yeah.
How are you doing?
So a quick introduction. Narcotic Wasteland. I learned about y'all through Scriptorium magazine. Alex Sanchez. Like I've learned about so many amazing bands. For those unaware, Narcotic Wasteland from out of South Carolina. And y'all have been busy. Y'all pretty much toured all of November. And for those in the DFW area, the last time you would have seen Narcotic Wasteland was at the Rail, also in November. Did the good people of Fort Worth treat you well?
All the people that come out treat us very well. We're at least me personally, I'm very appreciative of anybody checking us out. Definitely a lot of new music on the way. That's why I've been kind of like configuring and reconfiguring my studio here just to go to the next phase. But yeah, man, I personally just feel very lucky that I'm able to actually still do this and get out there and, bring it to the people, whoever's going to listen, however large or few, I don't care. I'm happy to play music for people that want to listen. And what greater thing can we ask for as musicians, right?
Kick ass, love that.
That's the spirit. And for anybody that's in the West Palm Beach area at the end of January, Narcotic Wasteland will be playing with Venom Inc. and Salem Child.
Very cool.
And it looks like also y'all have a show coming up with Deicide. The flyer says January, but the post says July.
Utterly shocking. That sounds like something out of a Douglas Adams book. But yes. Yeah.
That show's July 31st, the very next day, Mount Dora, Florida, with Deicide.
Okay. Awesome.
Yes.
So yeah, y'all were on tour most of November. Y'all played Slam Fest in Tampa. Was that off the rails?
That was a lot of fun, and always, with Tampa, you get to see a lot of old friends and meet some new friends. In my opinion, it's still one of the metal hotbeds in the world. Always, since the fucking '80s, So I'm always love being. I love playing shows in Florida. It's always killer.
Any advice for those who want to travel to Florida and play?
Stay hydrated. I'm a Carolina boy myself, so I know a little bit about it. Don't pet the gators; they don't like that.
Not even the baby ones.
That sounds like a challenge to me.
Well, you can try anything once. But yeah, it's always a fun time down there. Like I said, it's great to just get out and play some shows for whatever reason. You know what I mean? We're out this is what it's about, is to You want to be a musician? Well, you play some music. You know, that's pretty simple, really.
When you get on these
People try to
shows that are in
complicate it.
different states,
And
is someone reaching out to you, or do you reach out to like a venue or a promoter or another band? Like, hey,
it's
I'd like to play.
it's both. You know, sometimes we get some offers that come across the table into our agency. Yeah, we would like these guys to maybe do this, and then sometimes, you know, we tell an agent or we talk to somebody and say, hey, we'd like to do a show or whatever, you know. And it works out that way as well.
I think what I'm going to start doing is just showing up. You know, like, hey, I'm here. Can I play?
But y'all do work with a booking agency, correct?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
We
do. Yeah,
most all touring bands work with a booking agency.
Well, it's good to have representation just so everybody knows. It puts everybody on the same page.
Yeah. You know where you stand.
A lot of people instantly think that, okay, they have a booking agency now, so they're going to charge more money or something like stupid like that. And that's not how the business actually works. How it works is the booking agency is going to take their cut out of what the band makes, and they're going to work for you. So the whatever the guarantee for the band is going to be the same. But the band agrees to have them there as their representation and as their language, so to speak, when it comes to the contract for the show.
Yeah, they take care of all the business so you can actually play.
That's
it gives
the way it goes, yeah. And a lot of times it does. You know, when you're working with the right people and everything comes together, that's the way it is. You know, it's just like with any business. You know, you got your stinkers out there that you know, take a long time to pay, or they're on the fence, or they don't promote, or you know, there's 10,000 different answers to that question. But you know, you just get out there and do it anyways, and hope for the best for everybody involved.
Fair.
Yeah. And
but to
Ariel,
re-emphasize here real quick,
because he was a member of the first death metal band to ever play Ozfest. So we're dealing with royalty.
I don't know about that. Were we the first death metal? I don't think so. I mean, the year we played Ozfest when I was in Nile, Behemoth was on there too, and there was a couple of different things on there that I was like, "What the?"
Didn't you say, was it you or maybe with the other guy that said in an interview that, "Oh, it's great to bring real metal to Ozfest now"? I thought that was Nile.
Well, you know, we did have Permitting the Noble Dead to Descend to the Underworld. Actually, no, I take that back. That was Papyri. Yeah, Papyri containing the spell to preserve its possessor against attacks from he who is in the water. That's the one. That was on the video for that song was on MTV for 15 weeks.
Nice.
Remember
we were really surprised about that. We were like, what the fuck?
That I thought you guys mentioned that, oh, it's good to bring real, I think that's what they're talking about, to bring real metal to Ozfest. And that was like the comment that they're picking up on.
Yeah.
Yes, and $10,000 parking. That was the year it was supposed to be free, right? I was about breaking balls. I was happy to be there. It was a fun time for sure, and there was a lot of cool bands on that year. Really cool.
Nice.
Yeah, that was a good year for metal. 07.
Well, Dallas, I'm gonna do my sales job here. I'm a promoter out of Dallas. If you decide you want to play here sometime in the future, be happy to talk to you about it. See if you might fit into one of our shows.
That sounds good, man. We've been playing in Texas recently.
Awesome.
And yeah. So yeah, man, hit us up.
Yeah, we played a lot of Texas.
Just to kind of give you my schedule. We've been desperately needing to put out this album, and it's finally going to come out before the summer. But also, there's going to be we're also going to be working on the next album already, because there was like this big bottleneck effect that I'm not even going to get into, but there's a lot of material, and I'm really excited to show everybody what we've been up to.
Well,
Excellent.
As am I. As am I.
We have shows in June,
Yeah.
in June, July, and in August. Or sorry,
Joe's got some things up his sleeve too.
Yep. Actually.
Hell
Well, I have
yeah.
nothing up my
Yeah, I
sleeve,
can't wait to
so-
tell you
That
this new
come
demo,
from?
Dallas.
Where was the burp come from? Was that Joe?
That wasn't me, bro.
Somebody got some
I couldn't
demons
claim
hiding
that.
in
That was a
there.
ripper. Oh, okay. Hey man, that was a.
Look, we're back in the van
quite
again.
like a Joe ripper. But yeah,
That's why I didn't hold
Tell
it
me,
back.
what advice can you give to bands that are wanting to go on tour? What's some good prep that they should know before they hit the road?
just be prepared. You know.
Yep.
One of the big ones is like, it's okay to party a little bit, but don't party too hard. You know that you're going to be able to drive out of there. You know, all that stuff, because it can be that way, especially if you have a good show and everybody's and everybody's there, and you're hanging out with fans, and you're hanging out with just people that came to the show or whatever, and you're all hanging out. You know, things can get it's a fucking party. It's a show, so you just have to kind of gauge that. Make sure you've got just take care of your health out there, and occasionally ask if your fellow bandmates are okay. Just check in, make sure everybody's okay. That's like a very important one for me too. And that's basically it, man. And just go out there and practice and party and jam
practice before you go.
Yeah,
watch out for bed bugs.
Oh God, I'm so fearful.
Oh, chinches.
Yeah.
Why would you say that?
Chinches.
Yeah, no, that was cockroaches last time. The last 2 days that we had.
Yeah, check your beds for bed bugs when you go.
Yeah.
And
What
actually,
places are you staying at?
Kenji.
We found a roach motel.
I'll give you a question.
The night, and it was
It
filled with
seems like
cockroaches.
there's if you rent a room that's too close to an airport, it's going to have issues.
I don't want to know. I don't want to
Get down
know.
the road a little bit. That's what I've learned in my travels, anyways. You know what I mean?
If I encounter bed bugs, I'm just gonna light myself on fire. I just can't.
How tall are you?
I'm 5'1".
One way to deal.
You know how tall a bed bug is? Yeah.
Microscopic.
There are chemicals that will make them hate themselves.
Oh yeah.
Yes. And it might even be bad for us, but who cares at that point, right?
I will douse myself.
Hey, if it doesn't give me cancer, I don't want it. If it will not give me cancer, don't want it.
I'm not 4'7", Brett.
Just throw shit at them. Break shit. That's what you do.
Oh God.
This
I
shit,
feel like they're
it doesn't
on
kill
me.
the bed bugs, but it fills them with self-doubt as to whether or not they're in the right bed.
Makes the bed bugs depressed.
Oh gosh. Hey Ricky,
Right?
did you ever get the
They have their
music
own
that we
lineage during
promised?
COVID-19.
Which one?
Well, from our first guest, Ryan and Studio 801, they said that they sent some MP3s.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I believe I emailed it to you from my.
Yeah, I've got it. I've got something I can only dream of here. And
I am ready for
then
some music from any of them.
Also, unanswered
CASHAPP.
questions.
Let's. Did I send you 2 or did I send you 3? I can't even remember.
Well, I just saw 2, so I can.
Oh, okay,
only-
I only sent you 2. Okay, let's start with unanswered questions.
Hey, Ryan, do you have Saturn Ultraviolet too?
Hey, Dallas Toller, you want to hear some good local
That's
Dallas
like-
Fort Worth music?
Metal band.
Let me get back to you on that. I might have to dig around for it.
Thank you for being here with us tonight, dude.
I
You're a
appreciate it.
blast.
Yeah, thank you so much.
So you guys send us music too. This is excellent.
like it.
It's not understandable why you say that you're not comfortable. Could you please tell me why? Unanswered questions. All of these unanswered questions.
What happened? Oh.
Wait.
It's a
Remind me of cake.
mystery how you tell me to not take it personally, but how can I not? Unanswered questions. All of these unanswered questions. You said, don't feel terrible, but my pain is unbearable. I wish that we could both be happy, but I cannot without you. I just want to get to know you. Is there a reason why you don't want me to? Unanswered questions. All of these unanswered questions. I get it. No one is perfect, but you are something special. I just hope that means something to
That's why we listen to the music.
That's good. I liked all like the little nuances in there and the layering of all the different sounds and
Beautiful, bro.
voices.
Congratulations, Ryan.
Very much. I
Yeah,
I
I like
noticed
the
you guys-
weirdness of it very much.
Yeah, it was almost Beatlesque and
I would say it was a little beyond that. I mean, it's definitely reflective of what's going on now. I'm really tired of hearing about the past, and I'm tired of hearing about the Beatles.
melodies.
I'm sorry.
I got you.
have to shut that down. I'm tired of hearing about the fucking Beatles. All right, yeah, I really am. I'm sick of it.
And somebody clicked that at 49 minutes. I'm tired.
Now, was that Harry there?
Where?
No, I think that was Dallas.
That was Dallas.
Oh, that's Dallas.
Dallas.
hating on the Beatles.
Well, I'm glad you guys liked my song.
But
I definitely pull a lot of inspiration from classic rock. I love using orchestral instruments, if you can't tell. So, I love brass and strings. Woodwinds are great too. I'm working on some stuff that's actually got some full orchestra stuff in there. So,
Oh, very cool.
stay tuned for that.
Do you individually record it, or do you have something preset? What do you do?
I individually record the parts. And yeah, I just kind of do it like how you would anything else, just on a much just instead of like drums, bass, guitar, and vocals, you know, it's that plus a bunch of other instruments.
Yeah.
Same process. You just, instead of doing it 4 times, you do it like 30 times.
A million more times, yeah.
Basically, Brian Wilson here.
I would love to. So I have a lot of ideas and different things that I want
Do you
to
like
include in our
cake?
songs, but I don't know how to create it.
Yeah.
And so I would love to create something like orchestrated like that would add more to the sound. But I can't create that on stage, right? Like by myself or with
You
my
can't
band.
recreate it.
You can. So what I've been doing is, you know, taking the recordings I use for the studio songs and just making backtracks with them. But then on stage, I can have like 1 trumpet, 1 trombone, 1 sax or clarinet or something. So like you still have the full sound, but then you have a few of the different instruments on stage, just so like people can kind of feel the presence, you know?
Right.
They can feel it and see it.
Anyways, it's awesome. I liked it.
But that, Ariel, is why bands track, is that extra vocal track, that extra instrument track, you know. And it really is. It's a real thing. It's the only way you can layer your vocals, for example, is if, you know, live, is if you track it.
Well, the studio is the studio, isn't it? You know, and then you want to try to recreate that live as best as possible. But we can use the studio not necessarily to cheat, but to push ourselves a little bit.
Exactly.
I'm all for it, man. Yeah. Full on. I loved it. Yeah, Ryan, congratulations, bro.
Thank you very much. And somebody said cake. Yes, definitely one of my biggest influences for that song.
Okay, I could hear it.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, this kind of reminds me of cake.
Oh yeah, one of my favorites growing up. My dad.
And I love cake, both the food and the band.
Let's move on because you're making me hungry, man.
That's it. Everyone's getting off this podcast. We're gonna go eat cake now.
Should make an
Bye.
album called Tres Leches.
Man, I'm so
That would be sick.
Yeah, I would.
That would be that'd be a great album.
Or just have an album called Cake, and then each song is like a different cake. So just leches or
a different flavor.
lemon cake, like just something.
Cheesecake.
German.
You need to have a song called "And Eat It Too."
That should be your last song.
I was thinking that. It's cake.
That's the bonus.
Have your cake and eat it.
The first one, yeah, have your cake, and then all the cakes listed, and eat it too.
And eat it too.
Let them have has to be in there. Let them have.
Let them eat cake.
So if Have Your Cake has different types of cakes, then what does And Eat It Too have in it?
Let them eat.
Is it a bunch of different foods or is it a bunch of explicit stuff?
Let's leave that
The
It's
answer
not
is
my
yes.
album, just an idea.
A bunch of erotic cakes.
Did my phone just die?
Wow.
So when
I'm curious, for the folks that play live a lot, have y'all encountered a sea of phones in your direction as opposed to people actually enjoying the show? And if you have, what do you think about that?
Oh, me? I don't really notice it. When I play, I have long hair, and my hair looks like this, so I don't really see anything on stage.
Excuses. You can see a little. If the ring can find her person she's gonna kill, you can see people.
Can we talk about Kenji's little bass in the background? That thing's sick.
Right here?
Ooh, yeah.
That would be sick.
What that is?
I think they're scrolling through the people.
What even is that thing?
What is that thing? I think they're trying to find me.
Show us.
They're trying to put me back in focus.
Whip it out, Kenji.
Here we go. It's right here.
Did you make it?
I did not make
The
it.
chapstick.
This bass, yeah, it's Chapman stick. It's made by Chapman stick, but it's an 8-string bass.
Oh wow!
Yeah, bottom 4 is a bass, top 4 is a guitar. So
you ain't no bass.
bass guitar, basically. Because we used to be a 4-piece, but now we're a 3-piece. So I have to actually compensate for that now. So when Dallas, our guitar player vocalist, starts playing his leads, we sound kind of empty. So now I have to play the guitar parts and the bass parts, and yeah, compensate for it on stage. That's kind of what goes back to what we're talking about, how there's the studio and then there's the live. So I'm trying to, as much as possible, trying to recreate what we do in the studio in a live setting.
Like Crash
Which
Karma.
is 2 guitars normally.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like that dude from Crash Karma.
I mean, Joseph, I'm going to assume that you're.
I like
drummer.
the 3. Oh yeah, these are the babes.
Yeah, these are the babes. You mean you can't drum and guitar at the same time?
I can't. I don't know who can, but maybe somebody can. I'm
Well,
sure
he
there's
drums
somebody out
and
there on
sings, though.
YouTube that's
No,
down.
there's a guy. There's a guy called Aaron Polson on YouTube, and like he'll wear a hat and like he'll tape a stick to his hat, and he'll play guitar and then play was it bass and snare with his feet, and you'll just see him like on the cymbal.
That's hilarious.
Of course there is.
Blake is a singing drummer. Blake's a singing drummer.
I do it out of necessity.
Really?
I don't like
Yeah.
to sing.
Right.
I love to drum. I like.
Have
to
y'all seen
sing.
Perceived?
Impressive, Blake. I'm always impressed by anybody that can sing and play, but a drummer especially, man. I can barely play with both my feet and then my hands separately, but I can do it.
Takes practice, but it's
Blake, are you
doable.
still looking for vocals, or did you get someone?
Whoa, still kind of, but I
Still
mean,
kind of looking for
Kind of what,
vocals.
looking?
Power
Yeah.
metal, or power metal.
yeah,
Right?
it's like
Yeah.
Dragon Force type stuff. So I get out of breath after it. So like sometimes I'll have the mic and then I'll just be like, just like trying not to die at the same time. So it's something, but.
Have you always been a vocalist, or have you always been an instrumentalist by?
Instrumentalist. So I
Okay.
started off, doing the whole percussion thing in in school, and then like in high school I started picking up drums. So I'm currently going to college for studying drums, and then I just started picking up doing the vocal stuff out of necessity because it's kind of hard to form a band, and like I knew the vocals better than my bandmates, so I was like, all right, I'll do it. Let's do this. So
It's happening.
yeah, do I like it? I mean, it's fun sometimes, but I don't know. I'd either want to focus on was it either drums or vocals, and drums is my first love,
Yeah.
and that's what keeps me happy. That gives me happiness in life.
Yeah, it's hard. So I'm classically trained vocals, right? Like I've been singing all my life. I love singing, and it takes a lot to build up to the stamina and then like move and do it. Because I jump around like an idiot on stage.
Hell yeah!
And half the time I'm like, like I can't breathe. So I completely get where you're coming from. We're just like, I even look at my guitarist. I'm like, I need you to talk. I can't talk. This is not
just being so out of breath. Yeah, I've learned a little bit of like the vocal stuff just because like I have a lot of friends who are vocalists, and studying music it's inevitable, and I did choir in college for a couple semesters, which was fun, but by no means am I a trained vocalist. It's kind of figure it out.
That's dope. There's
Blake
there's
is
a
underwater.
yeah.
Oh, am I?
Oh, there you are. Haha.
There
Yeah,
we
we
go.
hear you. Sometimes the mic just kind of moves around a little bit. You got to talk into it.
Okay. Hey man, maybe
It's kind of the
just
same thing that happens to me every time I shoot at someone at PUBG.
Yeah, it moves around. You got to.
Uh-oh, the internet is fucking up, and I'm going to get killed. Although I was shooting him before he was shooting me, I'm going to die somehow before he dies. Yeah. Thank you, internet.
The end of Reservoir Dogs.
Maybe he'll learn how to drive.
Man, the peak of that was like 2010 Xbox Live chat on the Halo multiplayer. That's what you got to be. That's what you got to watch out for.
Yeah, I was on Unreal Tournament 3, actually. I was in the top 100 on Deathmatch.
Oh, yeah.
Suck it.
I don't play.
Black Cannon.
I unfortunately don't play FPS.
Yeah, Dallas could play some games.
Hell yeah.
I've
Yeah,
already
it's
witnessed.
kind of my other passion. That's like, heavy metal, guitar, video games, and true crime.
Have you seen like the was it Grandpa on YouTube? Where he like just does all the sniping stuff and he just like makes.
He's on TikTok now.
Is he?
Oh yeah, he's still ripping ass and talking shit, dude.
Oh, dude, it's
Badass.
so funny.
I'm glad you
He's
knew
a
what he was
serious
talking about because I
sniper,
had
man.
no
Yeah.
clue.
Yeah, it's
He's
like
a-
it's like
He's
gaming
like this
Grandpa.
older guy, and he's
Yeah.
been on for over a decade now, and he's just brutal on all the Call of Duties and the Battlefields and all that. I think he's fully specialized in Battlefield,
Mhm.
and he's just a nasty sniper dude and talking shit. It's great.
Nice.
That's great.
That is cool.
Yeah, it's good, man.
Hey, so I actually just emailed you a copy of Blake's demo. I don't know if we wanted to listen to that, if we have time for that or not.
Always time for
There
music.
we go. Gotcha. Yeah, well, I've got your song queued up already, so if you want to listen to that other song of yours.
Something I can only dream of. Yeah, we could do that first, and then we can listen to Blake's.
Does it have horns and everything like that also?
Yes, it does.
Okay, man, that is...
I don't know. We got a couple friends backstage as well. Rick, let me get a chance.
well, there's only one spot left on the panel at the moment. So really, that's all that it is. They're actually not backstage. They can't get online at the moment.
Oh, really? Man, StreamYard. What can you do?
Not much. I can do a couple of things. Hey, I want to compliment you, Ryan, because I think your music is amazing. Your heart's in it. I could go on and on and on, and I'm not even a judge of a music competition. I can't wait to hear this. This is called Something I Can Only Dream Of.
I cannot resist you. You're all I could ever want. But you say that you want me to go away. I wish that you wanted me to. If only it could have been the reality. Something I can only dream of, something that is completely intangible. What I want does not exist, something that is desperately out of touch. Something I can only dream of, something that is hopelessly unreachable, because it'll never happen. Something that I'll never ever have. I wanna be by your side. You're something beautiful. I like to picture something wonderful. I'd hold on to your hands and say that I love you. I'd be there for you and at your side always. Something I can only dream of, something that is completely intangible. What I want does not exist, can cry because of you. I need to accept the fact that it'll never happen. Something I can only dream of, something that is completely intangible. What I want does not exist. Something that is desperately out of grasp. Something I can only dream of. Something that is hopelessly unreachable. Because it'll never happen. Something that'll never, ever happen. It's all my fault. It shouldn't be this way. It's all my fault that you don't like me. If only you loved me back. Unfortunately, it's something I can only dream of.
Thank you, Super Chat. Thank you for that, Super Chat.
All right.
All right,
That
that's
sounded
thank
awesome,
you
man.
for that super chat.
Thank you,
to-
Super Chat. Thank you for that, Super Chat.
Dos Vatos.
What'd you guys think?
Dude, that was pretty
Terrible.
wild.
I'm kidding.
It was a different song to me. It was a song that I would experience or, listen to with maybe, it was a nice song, dude. Really good.
Well, thank you.
That other song, that first song, is something I can't wait to listen to again.
Oh, okay. The unanswered questions.
Yeah, all those instruments and the way you layered the vocals in that, and the way it rested, and just they all are suited in those places. It's pretty sweet, dude. It touched a lot of spots.
Thank you.
But this something I can only dream of is obviously far more upbeat and driven, and it's kind of almost a nightclub song.
Oh, okay. I never would have thought about that, but yeah. At least the beginning, I kind of took a lot of inspiration from like the Final Countdown. I don't know if anyone else made that.
All right, I got you. That's a nightclub song. Let's hear it from Dave and Ariel. What do y'all think?
Oh, I said I hated it, but I
Oh,
was
I love it.
joking because I actually really loved it.
Thank you.
Like the way he sang along with the notes kind of reminded me of Zappa. The way that he would he would do a syllable with every note hit. So I love Zappa. So it had kind of a rock, a jazz kind of feel to that, which I love.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, that chorus, and especially the part I'm pretty sure you're talking about in the chorus is jazz chords, sevenths, major and minor. So
very nice, very nice.
All right, so folks, added to the panel just now, we have Jim from the Pozers out of Tyler, Texas, and they've been getting a lot of airplay from Michigan to Scotland, from Long Island to Australia. How you doing, Mr. International?
Hey, it's great to be here. Doing well.
Oh, the pleasure is all ours. The Pozers have released, eight discs? Is that
Yes,
correct?
that's correct.
That
This is
is
our
that is
the
a
last one's our
lengthy
eighth.
discography. That's awesome, man.
It's been a
So,
while.
are y'all on tour? Or y'all about to go on tour when the weather clears up?
We are off tour now. We're actually back in the studio working on our new album, hopefully to be released in 2025. Our newest album came out in September of 2023, so we've been kind of promoting it now for about a year and a half or so, and it still feels new. I mean, we haven't got into the a lot of bands nowadays, I mean, we're still old school that we want to release a CD and an album, and then we'll release videos or singles from the album. I know a lot of some of the newer bands are doing just the single release and then going from there. So we still like to do the full album. So we're still releasing songs from the last album, but we're back in the studio working on our new one.
That's awesome, man. Love all the new music that is coming out.
Absolutely.
So tell us about the Pozers. Where are you from? Where are you going? And how is that creamy middle?
Well, we have been around for a long time. I put the band together in '94, believe it or not, in my very early 20s, and the band kind of started out in Denton when I was going to school at UNT, and the one of the local legends from DFW. I don't know if anybody remembers the great Joey C. Jones.
Passed away. Joey C. Jones.
Absolutely, passed away a couple of years ago. Joey kind of
took Savage.
Yes, absolutely. I became friends with him in '91, and Joey took us under his wing, and we opened. The Pozers. We go way back to Dallas City Limits, if y'all remember that. We played a lot of shows there for Joey, and he produced a couple of our albums.
$5 beer mugs.
Absolutely. I think I still have one right here. It just happens to be there.
Boom. That's beautiful, bro. Jim, thank you for sharing.
I keep pics in it now. I don't have
Randy Rhodes flying V on the wall there.
Yeah.
Love you, man.
Absolutely. So we started out in the early '90s, and we've just kind of consistently released albums. I wanted to put something together based around my originals. I was a songwriter and a multi-instrumentalist, and so the band has changed over the years, obviously, but it's still based around songwriting, which is what my passion is. So
yeah. So that's Joey C. Jones and Sweet Savage was one of the original like rock glamish rock bands of the '80s here in Dallas Fort Worth.
Yeah, and he had a series of bands after that, that he was in. In fact, he had some. I don't know how many people are familiar with that history, but he left the Dallas area when CeCe DeVille left Poison, and he joined up with CeCe for a while there and played with him. And then the band that was CeCe's band kind of became Joey C. Jones and the Glory Hounds, which in the early '90s they had released an album and played behind it. In fact, there's a video on YouTube if you want to look it up. With his Wait All Night, they filmed it to Dallas City Limits, and so early '90s that was the place to be.
And what's the music scene like in Tyler?
Not much. I mean, we rarely play. I live in Tyler, but if we play, we're usually playing, and when we go out, we're playing the bigger cities. We not to denigrate the scene in Tyler. It's really good for blues and country, but not for power pop, which is kind of what we are.
Yeah, we were talking with the guys from Narcotic Wasteland about touring and whatnot. Have you been on extensive tours where you got no days off and eating weird food in exotic locations?
Oh, absolutely. Especially in my early 20s, I was very fortunate enough to go out and, really go out on the road. And we had a booking. I heard the gentleman earlier from Tampa. We actually had a booking agent manager out of St. Petersburg, which is right near Tampa. So we spent a lot of the early 90s down in that area, and then touring, go out on the road with a rider truck and a rent a car, and then just, stay in cheap hotels and eat cheap food and fast food and everything. So yeah, it was a great experience for us at that time. But it definitely wasn't as glamorous as you think of it when you grow up, thinking about going out on the road and touring. It really, it's, you got to take care of yourself. You can get sick, your body gets run down real easily, and then especially if you're partying, and then you're getting up and having to do it again, or making these long drives, driving and, an 8-hour drive to play a gig or whatever. So yeah, I don't really miss those days. When we play now, we're usually going and doing 1-offs or 2-offs. We're not getting in the bus and just taking off for 3 months and coming back.
Well, in pretty much just chilling where you are, I guess we've all noticed the giant explosion in populace in the DFW area. Have you noticed a huge influx of bands in your neck of the woods, or that you've come across in your comings and goings?
It's interesting. I've always felt like DFW had a great scene for many years. I don't think it never became like an LA or a Seattle scene, but there's always been so much talent in Dallas, and so many great players, and the diversity of music. I know Texas, a lot of times outside of Texas, gets the sort of, well, that's the Stevie Ray Vaughan ZZ Top state. But there's so much more of various genres across the board, and a lot of great. I mean, I just enjoy seeing people pick up guitars and play music again. I mean, that to me is awesome, because I know there's a lot of, I don't know if anybody's tuned into the Grammys lately, but there's not a lot of guitar-based bands that are in the public conscious, So when you see anybody making original music, playing guitars, playing real instruments, that excites me. Absolutely.
Yeah, thankfully nobody's tuning into the Grammys. Everybody's tuning in to blow your brains out every Wednesday night.
Absolutely.
That's right. And what I've noticed is that ever since Gojira played the Olympics, I've been seeing a lot more guitar-based shirts walking around the streets. So that fills my heart with joy.
Sure. Absolutely.
Yeah, metal will come back.
Well, let's let the music do the talking. Y'all want to hear some Pozers music?
Absolutely.
Shit, yeah.
All right, here we go. It's the Pozers and You Love.
This is actually our latest release, our latest single from the album that came out about a month ago.
Something Pop. I love the whole promotion, bro. It sounds naturally flavored.
Remind me to tell you about the cover model. She's a Fort Worth girl.
Cool.
If all we see was then and now is just a dream, so stay in bed, the sheets above your head. The love we made was in the dark behind our eyes, so now sees beyond our occupation knives. You were the light ahead, showing us the dark. Now it's gone, and I walk alone. Every time you hit the pain, it all came out in violent rage. Now that you know it's not the way. When I saw you turn away, your lover called, he's on his way. Love, who you love, darling, it ain't me. Through my life, I've seen the troubles you went through and the pain. You laughed with me and still there too. Every time you hit the pain, it all came out in other things. And love, who you love, darling, it ain't me. It ain't me. I need your love, girl, like I need the sun, girl, but I end up sunburned from showing us the dark. Now it's gone, I walk alone like something you might call a home. Every time you hit the pain, it all came out in violent rage. And you know that you know it's not the way. When I saw you turn away, your lover called, he's on his way. And you love, who you love, darling, it ain't me. Every time you hit the pain, it all came out in other things. And you love, who you love, darling, it ain't me. When I saw you walk away, it's over, girl, like yesterday. Don't you love, who you love, darling, it ain't me. You love, who you love, and it ain't me. And you love, who you love, but it ain't me. Say how kiss for me. At least one day agree.
Dude, that reminds me of like going to Wet and Wild, man. That's some good Bubba Tub music right there.
Wet and Wild.
Blake was saying it reminded him of the 70s, and I'm thinking a little bit of Partridge Family.
The vocals really reminded me of the vocals really reminded me of Cheap Trick, actually. At least the timbre and some of the melodic elements. I really like it. I like the orchestral-ish intro.
Thank you. It's very stressful to just sit here and listen to your song in front of people. It's like, okay,
good job.
We can only tell you nice things, so when we click off, we're going to say everything bad.
Well, for us, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
That was a great job.
Hey, did you get to hear Ryan's song earlier?
I did, yeah. And I was waiting to get in the queue, and I loved what Ryan was doing with the harmonies and the production. I completely related with you, related to you in that when a lot of times I'll record all the instruments myself in the studio. And then when I go out and play live, you're playing with other people and you're trying to not say, hey, play this exactly like it was on the album. Let them have their own feel. But it's a different thing when you're kind of working with people versus working by yourself.
Yeah, I totally agree. And so I compose my music when I write it. So I actually start in MuseScore and write out all the score parts. And then, I mean, for like the guitars and stuff, I'll kind of let them do like kind of their more own thing. Like might write it more like a lead sheet. But then for like the orchestral instruments, I'll write it note for note because that's what people who play those instruments usually expect.
Yeah, absolutely.
So any paid musician could read his music and play it by note. That's
great.
Hmm?
That's cool.
Absolutely. I love the Brian Wilson comparison. Yeah, Wilson's great.
I think so. There's a lot of Beach Boys in that boy.
Absolutely.
Well,
I want to give a shout out to Dallas, y'all. Dallas from Narcotic Wasteland. Thank you guys for being here.
Yeah, thank you very much. Coming in from South Carolina. I know it's late, but thank you for staying up late with us.
yes, thank you. Well, does anybody have any shows coming up that we want to talk about?
Well,
Yeah, anybody on here have shows coming up so we can talk about your shows?
Well, we told you about our music fests, Rock
Yes.
Music Fest.
Yes, got that one here.
And there was supposed to be more elaborated. Ta-da!
So
Rockin' Winter here. This is the show coming up first, February the 15th, and then just the very next day, February the 16th. Y'all are kind of like having a T-bar grill takeover here.
We are, and we'll have vendors. We'll have working right now on a headliner coming from the West Coast. So we're hoping to have like some other surprises, but we've already got, I think, 10 out of the 15 slots filled for the Rock Fest, and we still have a couple of slots left in the Metal Fest. And just really looking at if there's anybody out there that wants to play, we still have some spots open, and would love to talk to you.
And it's
Is
just
this y'all's
straight
first
out
back-to-back shows?
Yeah, they're back
Oh,
to
I'm
back
sorry.
this time, and then we'll do the next set of shows will be in June or July, and sometime in the summer. Usually we separate them out by a week or two, but we had a chance to do this with an act, and just for the logistics to make it easier, we did them back to back.
All right.
And we usually have giveaways. We usually have some sort of giveaways, and we might be able to get some really cool giveaways this time. Like
That's right. You have some VIP giveaways, maybe?
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, how do we want to do this? I think we got 2 VIP passes to the metal show. We'll do metal show since the podcast is a little bit
How
more
about think of a contest for people in the chats, because the chat's pretty full here.
okay.
We've
So,
got Renee from Hedonistic Punk Vatos. His band plays out there at T-Bars. We got Days X. That's a drummer of Against All Odds there.
Yeah.
We got Sorum. He's having a great time, as you can see. Saucy.
Arkansas.
So anyway, Christy is kind enough to give away a VIP pass to one of these shows here, and if we
the
can,
metal show. I'm trying to think of a question.
let's see what instruments did Ryan play earlier in his song.
Name at least 3.
So I could probably answer that.
I'll take one. I'll take one if it's the right one.
So other than vocals, I will name 3 instruments. So I played all the bass. in both of those. I played the keys, and I played some of the guitar, the easier guitar stuff.
All right. So
do you
who
get the
played?
VIP pass?
Hey, there you go. I was going to ask about the other instrument. Hey, real quick, Renee, you Hedonistic are playing at McFly's Pub in Fort Worth. 2 45-minute sets, January 11th. So that's this coming up weekend.
That's soon, yeah.
That's this coming up weekend. That's this Saturday.
Arky said, "Are you trying to give us the answer?"
Where's the flyer for that? I'm pretty sure I saw that flyer over on the Blow Your Brains Out group page. So we'll go over there and look at it here in just a minute.
Are we still doing a question for people?
Yeah,
too?
I've got it.
Yes.
What is speed metal? What is speed metal?
What is speed metal, chats? If you answer this correctly, then you get a VIP pass.
A VIP pass for 2. So how much is it at the door?
30 because it's gonna be from 6 well, I'm sorry, this one's on Saturday, so it's 12 p.m. to 9 p.m.
Whoa, an all-day fest.
12 p.m. till close.
And you can come and go. I mean, within reason.
So does VIP come with like extra hot dogs or something?
We can work
Pizza?
that out.
No, I'm just playing. I have no idea.
Yeah. No, the vendor owners are real cool. They're a couple, and they have like a 3-year-old daughter, and they're like willing to. They just started 6 months ago. They just took over 6 months ago. So shout out to.
Hey, I remember that.
Bar
Yeah,
and Grill.
shout out.
Yeah, they're real cool. They're willing to work with other people and kind of think outside the box and they hustle. I mean, they do what needs to be done. At our show, a couple of the bartenders got sick, and he just stepped up and worked his arse off. And he worked the door, and he was bartending, and we didn't even notice that there was staff missing.
Aw.
Yeah.
Well, here's one of my questions. Ryan Harrison, are you performing at one of these shows here?
Why, yes, I will be.
All right. There you go, everybody. Go out and see some of that sweet Ryan Harrison tune right there. Hey,
So
that'd be good.
That's going to be the February 15th, the Rockin' Winter concert.
All right.
There are
do you
answers
have
in the
any
chat.
Names for any of the bands that are playing.
All right. We do have answers for 2 VIP passes in the chats. May come with hot dogs, maybe not. You might have to bring your own hot dogs.
What is speed metal? Is what the question was.
That's a great answer. It's just the last answer, so that's why I pulled it up first. But it's a great answer.
I would say definitely Motorhead.
Yep, Motorhead.
Speed metal is like, wasn't it kind of the beginning of thrash?
Metal that dries about 55.
Above.
Yeah, it's a little bit different than thrash metal, so it's a little
kind
bit
of
cleaner, I
notch
think.
low, isn't it?
So if I remember my metal genealogy, it started off with like heavy metal, and then you got a split in between like hair metal and thrash metal. But yeah, speed metal is like almost kind of a proto thrash metal. It's like the bridge between the original heavy metal and thrash metal.
All right, there you go. Well, Saucy, she is from Arkansas. That's why she goes by Arkansas. But as a runner-up winner,
I love that, and they're on my list to reach out to for to play for us. So I love that metal. That's fast.
Yeah, that's Renee there, Christy of Hedonistic Punk Lactose. He's one of our big supporters. Super good people. You'll love to see him, and his band will probably end up playing on one of your shows.
Definitely. But I'd say Arkansas has definitely got it. So we will have 2 passes at the door for Arkansas.
Oh, Arky, now you gotta come
Hey,
back to
Saucy,
Texas.
you have to let us know in the chats. Are you going to be able to make it? There's the dates right there. Is it the February, the 16th
February
show or the
16th.
15th?
The 16th is a Sunday.
Because she has been known to come down to Texas to see a show before, so she might come on down for a couple of VIP passes.
Okay.
But if she doesn't, I'm gonna suggest that. Yeah, that's what she's saying here. Hedonistic punk vatos. I'm gonna suggest that you give them to hedonistic.
Okay.
But
no, she was saying.
On.
She was asking,
Yes.
is Hedonistic going to be playing the 16th?
Yeah,
there you go.
They're on my list to reach out to because they filled out the application, so they're on my list to reach out to.
Yeah.
We'll
Well,
do something
either way, they can get hot dogs with their deal.
right.
Man.
We'll do something extra for hedonistic punk.
All right, there we go, everybody. Hey, Dave, Jarvis, Ariel, it's been a fantastic night with all of our guests. Do you have anything else before we hit this weekly concert calendar video?
Well, I would like to conclude this the way that I always do. And so let's start from the panel up top and work our way down. So who is at the top of the panel? I can't see. There's a flyer.
Hang on,
okay,
let me
let's start
do
with
it
Ryan.
that way.
Okay, well then starting from top left with Ryan and then work our way down. Ryan, how would you like to be remembered?
How would I like to be remembered? Wait, for just like for tonight or
in general?
Yeah, tonight, every night, baby. Any night, anytime. This time, last time, every time, or the only time when you die.
Orchestral rock and entertaining guests is my passion.
There you go. Harry, how would you like to be remembered?
Proponent for original music. I got a metalhead over here and a rockhead over there, and we did a lot of stuff. We did these shows for those guys. We started Music Matters. Please watch the podcast. Remember,
tell us about your podcast real quick.
Yeah, well, we bring in almost every band that plays in our shows comes into the studio first. We do a podcast. We do a performance reel with them, and so we post them on our YouTube channel, and you can find out about a lot of great bands that are coming up and going to be playing. And it's a great way to meet up and coming local talent. And I want to be remembered as proponent for original music.
Beautiful.
Love that.
How about yourself, Blake?
You know, I was trying to think of something funny to say, but like all I could think of is just like a really obscure. It's not super obscure, but it, slightly more obscured reference to like one of the early internet shows I used to watch. So I'm not gonna make that because it's a little too obscure. I don't know. I guess like just drumming and just kind of being not a dick, I guess.
That's what any of us could ask for, man. Christy, how would you like to be remembered?
I guess I would say the nice bitch because I want to make sure everyone's taken care of, but sometimes in order to do that, I have to be the bitch. So the nice bitch.
Love it.
In all fairness, sometimes you just have to be a little bit more stern, and then people take it the wrong way because all of a sudden you're not friendly. But
right.
They did that to us.
Yeah. Yeah.
They.
And finally, Jim, how would you like to be remembered?
Musically, just the songs. I think at this point, writing songs that bring pleasure to other people who like them, and being able to, have that connection across the world now because the world's so small with the internet, and just having people like and remember the songs and enjoy the songs. And then on the personal side, probably just as a good friend and a good person, positively.
Well, you are, and so is everybody else on this panel. And please always know that y'all are always welcome here at Blow Your Brains Out, because y'all are now family, whether you like it or not.
Hey, hey, hey. Let's have some
This is
fun.
a pretty cool show coming up right here.
Yeah.
And for anyone who's been keeping up tonight, before the show is over, we will hear the song by Blake. Is that your name?
Yep.
All right. Our brain is working. We will hear Blake's song at the end of the weekly concert calendar. Carry on.
Okay, so Sunday, January 19th at Halton Theater, we'll be playing Against All Odds. We'll be playing with our brothers in Iron Man. And believe it or not, our guitarist, Ben, will be playing bass with Fighter Pilots. Yeah, music starts early at 7 o'clock.
And of course, their guitar player will be playing bass with
Wait, what?
Against All Odds. Anyway.
No.
Hey, I am about to learn those songs. I can put on a mask and a dress.
So fun. We might have a bass player.
Okay, good. All right.
Question
All
mark.
right. Hells yeah.
Still
Right.
testing the
That's what I'm talking
waters
about.
with a good guy. So, but tickets for
luck
the
to you.
show.
We love you, Ariel.
I love you guys too. But Iron Man also has a show coming up, I believe, this weekend, the 11th, at Reno's with Texas City.
There it is.
Our homies in Texas City.